Hi, Karl again, Realty Executives Tucson Elite. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about building your business in a changing, a flat, or a declining market. As you know, since 2005, Tucson's market has been a little on the downside, you might say. And in the last year, we've seen prices go down 13%. Now, in this marketplace right now, it's kind of crazy because we're not sure if things are going to stay the same or if they're going to go up a little bit. We've noticed a slight increase, but nonetheless, it's important to know what to do when you're looking at a changing market, okay, or a flat market like we're starting to see now, or maybe even a declining market like we have been seeing in the past. And Mike says, really, first, we got to understand that our business does not depend on the market conditions, okay? It depends on us, okay? It really depends on the way that what we do, what we're going to do to get what we say we want, how we're going to think about it, and all of the things that we see around us, okay? If you start buying into the thought that nobody is selling, if you start buying into the thought that there are no good buyers or that you can't get financing or that all the homes are terrible or that there's nothing to do, look at the statistics, okay? You'll realize that, look, 1,700 homes sold in a month. We got another 1,100 that came on the market, 400 sold on this day or whatever it is. And if you look at the statistics, you'll see that that simply isn't true, okay? So we have to take control of our attitude, all right? The three things that Mike always talks about with us is you have to take control of your attitude, you need to have a stronger approach, and you need to raise your expectations, okay? When we see what Mike Ferry says here, he's saying, look, the attitude, approach, and expectations that you take with you to any presentation or any showing or any interaction with the public is going to determine a lot about your outcome, all right? So the first thing he says with your attitude, Zig Ziglar said it best, your attitude describes your altitude, okay? Not your aptitude. All right, your aptitude is a start. How good you are is a start, but your attitude is what's going to take you there. Kurt Stinson in his interview that I had with him a few weeks ago, you'll remember that he said, look, the thing that made me so successful was my ability to go ahead and react with people and interact and the power that I have with them. That's that personal touch that I've got. And that was a good point. The next thing Mike said was the approach that you take. Look, you don't want to go after for sale by owners, okay, with a just listed, just sold mentality. You can't go after them slowly. Okay, you gotta be there when they want to make that decision to sell. Expireds. Okay, look, they're gonna list. Okay, either most of them are gonna relist or they just simply won't sell at all. And a very powerful approach to these people will help you go ahead and get that sale. If it's a buyer you're dealing with, the approach that you're dealing with them has got to be concise. You've got to have them get qualified. You have to come in. You have to be able to go ahead and decide what they want, to figure out if it's realistic and if you can help them. The other thing that Mike said was raising your expectations. Okay, look, it costs you absolutely nothing. All right, nothing to change your expectations of what they will do for you for the better. Okay, but it costs you a lot, all right, if your expectations are low. So let me put it to you another way. If I'm thinking in my head, there is absolutely no way that this person will ever list or buy with me, okay? It doesn't cost me anything. But my attitude going into this thing, my approach and the way I use it to them, is not going to give me a very good chance for success. But if I have the expectation, which again costs me nothing, says, you know what, these people are going to like what I have to say, and they're going to list with me at the right price, and they're going to buy from me because I'm showing them property that's well worth their time. Look, with that expectation, your attitude is great, your approach is going to be simple and easy to understand, and your expectation being high, hey, your results are going to be so much better. The next thing that Mike said to build your business in a changing market like this is to start every day at zero. Now, we've talked about this before, is this concept of starting at zero. For some people it's a little confusing, but it basically talks about your ability to go ahead and not get complacent about the success that you've achieved so far. Look, many of you have attended our classes, and many of you have received incredible success. I mean, you've got business pouring in, you've got buyers going out, you've got your business growing, you got money, commissions, activity, all of the things you wanted, okay? The biggest danger that we face is we become complacent, and we think that this is always going to be this way. When in reality, we need to really start every day at zero. Have this game in your head where you tell yourself, look, I've got no money in the bank. Okay? I've got no leads, no prospects, nothing going on, no actives, no sales, no nothing. When you start coming to the idea that you have no leads, just think about it. No leads. You don't know anybody who wants to buy or sell real estate today. How hard will you work to make sure you get that sale? How hard will you work to get that listing appointment? How difficult is your day got to be before you quit? When you start every day at zero, that mindset you have will carry you through powerfully to build your business. The next thing Mike said is you need to keep your goals, all right, in front of you at all times. Now, I've seen agents do things a lot of different ways to keep their goals in front of them. One of the things I've seen is dream books. Dream books are just nothing more than going down to, say, Barnes & Noble or Borders or some bookstore, and they will have journals that you can go ahead and open up, and they're blank pages. And they will go ahead and cut out and paste and tape all the things in there, exciting places, things they want to do, say, be, have, places they want to go, things they want to experience, whatever it is that you want to do in your life, okay? And they cut those things out, and then they put them on these things, these books, these dream books, and then they flip through them all the time when they're prospecting or when they're getting ready to go on an appointment or when they're feeling a little down or whatever it is, okay? These dream books will help keep you motivated. If you come to my office, you'll see a dream board where we actually have a board on the wall where we've done the same thing. All right, so you got to develop something like that for yourself and keep that in front of you all the time. The next thing Mike said is, look, you need to raise your level of enthusiasm. Okay, you've got to have it on a scale of 1 to 10. You got to have it about an 8 at least. Okay, in this marketplace, people are surrounded by bad news. That's all they hear. They hear bad news about the market, bad news about realtors, bad news about homes not selling. They see the home down the street that didn't sell. They see their friends not being able to qualify. They hear all these terrible things in the news. And then you come along. And now you're like, I don't know, maybe I'll really work hard if you work with me, if you list with me, I'll work hard. Who the hell wants to deal with that? I mean, really, think about it. Think this through, okay? When you think about it, you are an isle in the storm, all right? You're an island of peace. Your clients need to look to you and realize that, hey, look, everything else might be going to hell in a handbasket, but I know that my agent can handle my problem because he's out there in the marketplace. She's out there doing what she needs to do. She's making it happen. What do the sellers always tell you that they want? They want an agent who's actually going to go out there and do something, and somebody who's going to be powerful, somebody who's going to be excited about what they do. You need to raise your enthusiasm at least to an 8 to 10. The next thing that Mike says to go ahead and build your business in a changing market is to completely forget your past, okay? Unless it's very positive and very strong, because it limits how you think in this marketplace. Look, if you think that you have never been able to do more than 20 transactions in your life, if you think, you know what, I'm not going to succeed because I've not been all that great in the past. 2009 was a horrible year for me, and maybe, this year's going to be the same. I have a lot of problems understanding exactly what to say in front of a client. This time's going to be like that time. Look, okay, you need to forget all those things. That was who you used to be. It's important that you realize that is who you used to be, okay? If you aren't treating this like a job, you will not get job results. okay? Most of us have come to this business from another job altogether. Personally, I came to it from the Navy. Selling real estate was not exactly in my job description, okay? But the thing about it is that it did teach me discipline. And it did teach me to come in at a specific time every day and to do specific tasks. And I, like you, okay, had to go through these troubles and these trials and understand that this is in fact a job, okay, where you come in every day, you got to do what you got to do, you got certain tasks that you know will go ahead and bring you success, and you have to forget the fact that in the past, okay, I was making $40,000, $50,000 a year, and I was perfectly happy. Well, that's not going to cut it these days. Okay, you make $40,000 or $50,000 in real estate today, you're poor. Okay, because think about all the things that you probably did to get that $40,000 or $50,000. Okay, you probably had to work, 60 hours a week. Probably had to hold 2-3 open houses a day. You had to go ahead and deal with clients that you didn't want to deal with. You had to go ahead and maybe spend a lot of money in ads and signs and open houses or whatever it is you did. Okay, and then most realtors these days do not treat this as a business and realize in order for you to have that kind of lifestyle, you're going to need to make $70,000, $80,000. Because in your old job, you had health insurance, you had 401k, you had taxes paid, you had very little in terms of, outgoing expenses, okay? If you're going to make money, okay, to match what you had before, so if you're making $50,000 then, you're going to need to make $60,000, $70,000, maybe even $80,000 now. And to make that happen, you got to forget how easy it was in your old job. You got to forget that you got to, have this lifestyle that you can kind of come and go as you please. And you've got to understand that you have to go out and work every day. The next thing that Mike says that we need to go ahead and remember to change or to work in a changing market is to remind yourself every single day, okay, that market conditions have no effect on you, all right? You need to understand that that's just not possible, okay? There are still homes being bought. There are still homes being sold. Even in December, in the worst months of the year, so to speak, okay? 400, 500, 600 homes are selling every month for the last, 10 years. It always happens. Worst time of the year, 400 homes sell, 500 homes sell, 600 homes sell. How many do you need to make your life work? I'd be willing to bet that your life, to make it work, you probably only need, 2, maybe 3. I mean, you can't get 2 or 3 sales in the month of December? Really? What the hell do you do all day? You can do this. This is simple, okay? The next thing that Mike says is, look, you need to allow yourself the luxury of doing more business in a single month than you ever thought was possible. Now, I want you to think of this through. Think about what it is that you've done the most business in 1 month. And let's pretend that the most you ever did in a month, let's say it was April, all right, a pretty good month, April, May, something like that. And let's say that you did, 4 transactions in a month, okay? If you did 4 transactions in a month and you're doing an average sales price and you're on 100% like you are over here at Realty Executives, you're making probably in the tune of maybe $16,000 in a month. That is a lot of money. I don't care how you slice it. That's a lot of money. Could you imagine what your life would be if you did, say, 6 transactions? Okay, that's like $20,000. All right, what would it be like for you? How would your life look if you did $20,000 a month every month? I mean, do you think your life could change? Probably so. So allow yourself the luxury, okay, step outside your own thinking and allow yourself the luxury of doing more business in a single month than you've ever done before. The next thing, Mike says, take your best month of the last 12, all right? Take a look at it and make it your minimum standard, all right, for the next 12 months. So, for example, this is July 21st. I'm sorry, January 21st, 2012, okay? If you look back over all of 11, and you say, okay, look, in May, I did 4 transactions. May of 2011, I did 4 transactions, or 5, or 6, or whatever your number is, okay? And you said to yourself, okay, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. From here on out, that's all I will do. I will do a minimum of 4 transactions every single month for the rest of my life. Okay, a minimum of that. If you had that kind of conviction, that kind of commitment, what would your life look like? Okay? And then the next thing Mike says to build your business in a changing market is you need to exercise blind faith. Okay? Now look, think about this for just a minute. Mike, your broker, your friends, anybody in the company is not going to tell you something designed to hurt your business. All right? There's nothing in it for them. Okay? I have no reason to tell you something that will hurt your business. And neither does your broker managers or your designated brokers or maybe even your coworkers here at the company. All right? They're going to be sharing with you some of the things that they've done in the past that helps them. All right? Take it to heart. Okay? Because if it's worked for them, the only reason why they're sharing it with you is because it makes your life easier. So, for example, Dan Beal, right? When we interviewed Dan Beal, okay, he shared 25 years worth of experiences, okay? That's a lot. Now, what possible reason would Dan have to go ahead and tell you something that works for him, the mega open houses, let's say, to hurt you? There's nothing in it for him to lie or to hurt you. Okay? So you got to exercise some blind faith and understand that maybe I should just try it and let's just test this out and see what happens. Let me call people and see if it works for me like it worked with Kurt Stinson. Hey, I'm going to hold open houses or whatever like Dan did, right? And let me see if that works for me. Okay? The next thing Mike says, look, find 4 or 5 accountability partners. Okay? Don't let yourself off the hook. If you say, in my case, let's say, I've said I'm going to prospect a certain amount of hours per week. And I'm going to tell my team, look, you hold me accountable, okay? If you catch me screwing around, all right, call me on it. Say, hey, what the heck are you doing? You said you were going to be on the phones for such and such time. You said you were going to make X amount of contacts per day. And yet here you are, chewing the fat with somebody, okay? Get 4 or 5 people like that because you can't have enough people. And then once a month, okay, to build your business, have an expired day where one day out of the month, one thing you do is hit the expired listings and cancels as hard as you possibly can, okay? That's all you do all that day is just go after those people. You drive, you call, however it is you get to them, but you get to them. And that's just one day a month. The next day, maybe you have a for sale by owner day where you collect all the for sale by owners from all the sources you can, Craigslist, the paper, RedX, any of these people's sources that you get them from, okay? And then go ahead and go after them. The next day, maybe have another day of being a price reduction day, all right? The price reduction day is where that's all you do. Go through all your clients, all your listings, and say, okay, look, I have got to find a way to get this home sold in the next 7 days. What is it going to take? Because a buyer wants a home bought and a seller wants a home sold. And they need to hear the truth. And they need to hear it from you. Maybe another one. This is hard. It's called the Ultimate Prospecting Challenge. That's when you come into the office, 8 a.m., okay? And you start from that point and you work the rest of the day, okay, trying to go ahead and get as many listings and sales appointments that you can. Leads, prospect all day long. 8 to noon. Take a break. Come in, take an hour break for lunch, then go back at it again until say 5 or 6, okay? How powerful would your business be if you implemented those 4 days in the rest of your market? Look, there's 22 business days in a typical month. And if you took just 4 of those, an expired day, for sale by owner day, price reduction day, and a prospecting day, how would your business be affected? Okay? And then the next thing you need to really do to go ahead and change your business for the better, to make it more powerful, is to accept the fact, okay, and this is a fact, that during the next 12 months of 2012, you're going to be doing a lot of things, all right, that will make you uncomfortable. let's just face it, you're going to do things this year. If you want to do better, they're going to make you uncomfortable, okay? But they will make you more productive and more profitable. Look, don't lose sight of the end, okay? This is the beginning of the year. And I want you to think back of what you said to yourself in 2011. In 2011, in January, you said, you know what, this year's going to be great. I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And you said all the powerful things, the affirmations, you wrote down your goals, you had things posted on your wall, you're telling everybody how excited you are, and then December 31st comes, and then you have to realize, did I do what I said I was going to do? What changes did I make? Or did I actually change anything? Or did I stay the same? Or worse, did I go backwards? To go forward, to build a business, especially in this crucial time of the market when things are changing, okay, you have to understand the fact that you will be doing things that are completely foreign to you, completely uncomfortable to you, completely different to what you're used to. If you want to get different results, then you definitely have to do things differently. But the biggest thing is, if you do more things that are uncomfortable to you, then you will be a lot more profitable than you were this last year, okay? And then, of course, every day, work on the basics of selling. You know, effective prospecting, master lead follow-up, get presentations done, and have great negotiations. To improve your outlook, to improve your business, you have to get really good at those four things: prospecting, lead follow-up, negotiations, presentations. You've got to get great at that. Okay, to be a superstar, that's what it takes. You have to remove, Mike says, also your ego. Now look, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I will be the first to admit that I am not that great at that skill, but I'm working on it, okay? You need to face the fact that there are people out there who are way better than you, okay? Tucson is notorious for this. Tucson, we tend to think that we're just a big town. Look, that's not the so. If you look across the world, across the nation, even across on the West Coast, LA, Portland, San Francisco, San Diego, any of these, larger cities, you'll see people who are doing, they look at 40 deals a year, and that's nothing. They don't even think about it, okay? They do hundreds of deals a year, okay? Troy Candelario in San Diego County, he does, 500 deals a year, double-sided? I mean, he has his own MLS. This guy's crazy, okay? You can do that, but you have to realize that, look, you're a small fish in a big pond when you look at the outside forces that affect you. The biggest thing is you have to know, this is the next thing, know, use, and understand my numbers to build my business. What we're teaching you to do here, and Mike Ferry teaches as well, is to go ahead and keep track of your numbers. How many people do you have to contact before you get an appointment or before you get a listing? The average is 43, okay? If you have to talk to 43 people to get a contract signed, if you knew that, how many contacts are you going to make in a day? How many ever deals you want? I want 2 deals today. I need to talk to 86 people, okay? That's the rules. That's the numbers. That's the thing for you that you need to do. If you can create work, create things at will, then that's something you got to know is your numbers. The next thing Mike says is, look, if you have an assistant, okay, they need to have the following priorities. They need to, number one, handle your file work, okay, because the file work, the paperwork will kill you. It will kill your production if you're not careful, okay? You can't make $500 an hour doing $12 an hour work. The next thing he says is that the assistant needs to handle all the incoming calls, because you're going to get calls and stuff from people, other agents. You're going to get calls from appraisers wanting to know if something actually sold. You're going to want to, agents knowing, for example, is there a contract on this house? All those things will provide distractions for you. So have your assistant take as many of those calls as possible, and then never let you off your schedule, okay? That's one of the things your assistant needs to do, is keep you focused, keep you on track, because the more focused, the more on track you are, okay, the better they'll be, and the more they'll get paid. Tell them, hey, look, it's job security, okay? So anyway, those are some of the things that Mike says you need to work on to build your business in a crazy market like we have right now. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Take lots of notes. Give me a call if you have any questions. Thanks a lot. Thanks for stopping by, and keep an eye out for your sales. Thanks. Bye.